again, peoples of the interwebs, it's the Lunatic, back again with another episode here on the SMPDX Minecraft Amplified server. I've been really busy lately, and this isn't actually the episode that I wanted to be recording now for episode 4, is it? I don't actually know. Probably episode 4, maybe it's episode 5? Let me see here. Episode 1 was that one with the loons taking over. Episode 2 would have been the one where I boy, I have no idea. I legitimately, honestly cannot remember what the heck episode this is. It's either episode 4 or 5. I know that much at least, which is more than some people might know. You'll know. It's everybody else knows what episode this is because you can see it in the title, and I can't because I don't even know. Ooh. Oops. I don't even know what I'm going to call this episode yet. Not a freaking clue. But I wanted to, I've been really busy lately, this past few weeks, and I wanted to give you kind of an update as to what's going on, so that you're aware that I might not have anything for you for just a little while here. Which I know is it's possibly a little bit annoying to some of you. I've never said that I'm going to have frequent videos because I know that I'm not going to. Just kind of due to the nature of my life. I work a full-time job. I just moved from my hometown to a place that's 4 hours away, so that's been something I've been obviously, recovering from monetarily primarily. And so I just haven't had time, as I've been busy with so many things involving the move and involving going to work and things in a new city where I actually it takes an hour to get home from work taking the bus, and it takes 7 hours to get to work if I bike really fast, which I don't. I take a bus, and it actually takes it's not too long that it takes, I suppose. I make it sound worse than it is sometimes, but that's just because that's the fun way of doing things, right? Right? Wrong, Loon. Stop lying to people. Okay, so, just a little bit of context here as to what's going on at this very second. From what you can see, I was trying to build an iron farm because I had another project I wanted to work on, but it was a lot of digging, and I realized that digging without a haste 2 beacon is ludicrous. How did you get out? Doofus? You're not supposed... Whatever. But it's absolutely just... So I decided that I needed an iron farm first. And I started working on one, and I was like, I remember how to build an iron farm. I built 4 of them, probably. And I was wrong. I did it bad, and I just made a design that would be terrible to use. Because I'd need 800 zillion... Well, I'd need, at least 10 villagers on every side, as opposed to a different version I'm going to build. Stupid idiot. Farmer guy. Jeez. I'm going to build a different one where I only need 20 or 30 villagers just on one side overall. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now, and it's grindy stuff and not super interesting, but I figured I can do this, and I can put out a little bit of a talky episode. Because so far, all my episodes this season have been, let's just say, not super serious, because I'm not usually a super serious guy. The most serious part was, oh man, when I accidentally spawned that wither. That was bloody hell. Let's just move on from that. That was stressful. But anyway, so to give you kind of an idea of what has been going on in my life, I released that video right after finding out that I had some new roommates that were moving in with me, or that had moved in with me, or were already living here. I may have moved in with them. That's actually my assumption, is that I accidentally moved in with some roommates. And these roommates aren't the most pleasant of roommates, let me tell you. They're blood-sucking little monsters. They are bedbugs. So, bedbugs, let me give you just a brief overview on them. They're the thing from that old little saying that people tell children, good night, sleep tight, don't let the bedbugs bite. Which is all cute and, adorable, but bedbugs are not cute and adorable. They're disgusting little critters, and if I remember, I will put a picture of one up on the screen here so you can just see and experience, just how disgusting they really and truly are. Now, bed bugs, it's a little bit annoying because, you know, I'm like, I'm not the cleanest of people out there, I'm sure, but I'm certainly not the messiest of people out there. And bed bugs, it doesn't matter if you have a clean house or a dirty house, they will look at you equally as a candidate. They are an equal opportunity employer, as it were. They do not discriminate based on the amount of dirtiness you have in your home. So, you could have the most pristine house there ever was, and you could still get bed bugs. Or you could be the biggest slob there ever was, and you could still get bed bugs. The only real difference is that if you're that big of a slob, like the biggest one on the world, in the world even, on the world, yes, I suppose that too. And if you live above ground, then you're on the world, and if you live below ground, you're in the world. I don't know. I've never thought about that distinction before. Interesting. At any rate, so you probably wouldn't notice them though if you were that big of a slob. The biggest one in / on / around the world. I'm just going. Why are you escaping? You shouldn't be able to escape. You couldn't move before. Oh well. But you wouldn't probably notice them because you wouldn't change your sheets or check under your bed ever or anything like that. But I obviously had to do that sort of stuff because I, obviously don't want to sleep on dirty sheets all the time. So I was changing the sheets on my bed. Let me think here. Sorry about the noise. Moving my headphones to scratch my itchy ear. There we go. But I was changing the sheets on my bed about, I don't know, a couple weeks ago here. And well, no, actually, that's not even what happened. Wow. I was thinking about changing the sheets on my bed and just hadn't yet gotten around to it because reasons and things. You guys are going to die. Mumble groan. Okay. My plan had been to change the sheets on my bed, like, I don't know, within a certain period of time, and I just hadn't gotten around to it quite yet. And I was laying in bed, and it was, like 2 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night as I was reading a book and just waiting to kind of become tired enough to fall asleep, when suddenly I got hungry. Because that's the thing that happens if you're lying in bed and you've been up for hours beyond supper time, you get hungry. So I hungrily went and got a bowl of cereal, as you do, and I came back, and I'd put my book down with the pages open. Oh criminy! Put my book down with the pages open, and I'd oh, okay, good. I went and got my cereal, and I came back and I picked up the book again, and there was a little bug hiding inside of it. A little innocent looking bug. Looked dead, basically. Actually, looked like it was a squished old dried bug that you find sometimes in books. I picked up this book at a thrift store a while back, and I figured, the previous owner just didn't, or they killed the bug and moved on with their lives and didn't bother to remove it. And so I was like, whatever. So I was like, maybe I'll try and blow it out, and if it blows out, then it does. If it doesn't, meh. Lots of meh. And so I blew on it, and it didn't move at all, and I was like, okay, I'll try a little bit harder, and I blew a little bit harder, and the thing moved. But not in a dead bug sort of way, no. It moved in a live bug sort of way, and I was like, oh, well, that's stupid. So I did the logical thing, and I went and I grabbed a knife, and I stabbed it in the head, and I got ready to throw it away, and then had a thought of, maybe, just maybe, I should double check and see what bed bugs look like. I'm curious, right? I found a bug in my bed. I wonder what bed bugs look like. I didn't really know anything about the buggers at the time, but I figured, yeah, why not? We'll check it out. We'll check it out. Yeah, 100% positive confirmation it was a bed bug, obviously. And maybe if I remember, I'll throw up a picture of him here. But yeah, I still have bedbug X or bedbug 0 or whatever it would be called. The first bedbug I found, bedbug alpha, I don't know, but I still have him sitting on my dresser with a whole. Actually, he's probably mostly missing his head due to the size of his head versus the size of the tip of the knife that I used to stab him. And so I was like, oh crap! So it's it's stupid o'clock in the morning on a Friday night, and I'm like, okay, let's see what we have. And so I go. And I pick up I take my bed sheets off. There's nothing there. I had a fitted mattress pad that's mostly in the event that I stupidly spill a bowl of cereal, can of pop or something when I'm on my bed. You know, it's supposed to be water absorbent proof, whatever. Good for small children who are potty training. I not a small child who is potty training. Like I said, I am just a klutz who eats in their bed. Cause stupid. Yeah. Not something I condone, but not something I'll judge you for doing either. Just kind of meh, whatever. But so I'm stuck. Okay. So I lifted up that, and there was a couple dozen of them hiding in the corners of it. I'm like, oh crap. So I left my bedroom that night after checking a bunch of, checking everything thoroughly and discovering that yes, there's bed bugs all over my bed, all over it. Just dozens of the buggers, not hundreds, I would say, but dozens of the little buggers. And so then I went and I thoroughly checked my couch and my chairs and my beanbag that I have. I have a giant beanbag of doom, which is pretty swish. But I went and checked those and didn't find anything, which was of course a good thing. And so I crashed in the beanbag that night, and then actually looked into bed bugs in the morning and found out that they are probably, legitimately, possibly the worst pests you could have ever. Just they are the epitome of not good things to have in your house. Like, they're great because they don't carry diseases, but they eat you. They suck your blood, and they want to spread to your friends' houses. So I have slowly, or I set myself some quarantine stuff, and everybody that I know was scared to come over, so they didn't. And I started doing some self-treatment stuff because they were just in my bedroom. But I had a dozen boxes under my bed of stuff that I needed to go through and make sure they were bedbug free, and I found only 2 bedbugs in that. But of course, assuming they were opposite gender, that could have been the continuation of the hordes, as it were. So it's a good thing that I went through all that stuff, and in the end, I ended up throwing out 3 garbage bags full of just garbage that I don't even know why I had some of it, and I condensed everything down into really 3 to 4 boxes worth of stuff. It's a little bit hard to judge because I only used 2 boxes, and then everything else went in some drawers. But yeah, basically I continued to check places, verified that there weren't any at all in my living room, because that's where I was like trying to sleep and things, and I was like, I don't want to be sleeping with these bed bugs, and I don't want people to come over and have there be bed bugs everywhere. And yes, everything went basically fine for a time, and then I was making really good progress. I was expecting to have everything done within a couple of days, and then I found them in my office. They had infested my green screen. There was one on the floor, and I haven't found any more since then. I removed my green screen. Blah, blah, blah. I removed my green screen. I ran it through the dryer because heat. Goodbye! Into infinity he went. Let's see here. If we were to push you off over here, I don't really want to push these guys off because then I'll have to either bring them back up or do something else with them. But you should be fine. Okay. And we're going to push off somewhere else. Hang on, scratching because I'm itchy because I'm talking about bed bugs. And I feel like I've got stuff crawling all over me now. You guys probably do too. It's just sharing in my pain. That's what you're doing. So, I found them in my office. Freaked out a little bit because that's not okay to find them elsewhere. Now, my office used to be a bedroom. It's actually the bigger bedroom of the 2 in my apartment. And I figured I have more computer stuff than I do bed stuff, and I spend more time awake on my computers than I do in my bed, because bed is for sleeping and reading, and I sleep more than I read, which is sad, really. I love reading. I miss reading a lot. But at any rate, that's beside the point. I have my bedroom in what I think it used to be a kid's bedroom, but I don't know for certain because I don't actually know if the previous tenants had any kids. But at any rate, I kind of figured that maybe the bed bugs started in both the bedrooms. and just, you know, one of those bedrooms became my office, and they woke up more slowly in there because of the fact that I just hadn't been in here quite as much due to still being busy with post-moving stuff and whatever. But yeah, because there were too many over here for them really to have just moved, and but the strange thing is there were no signs of them having been here. Like there were no oh crap, I've done far more of that than I wanted to. Oops. Okay. There were no signs of them. Hang on a moment. I'm trying. Shh, be quiet, thing. Looking at a tutorial at the moment. But there was just no signs of anything. 10. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There was just no signs of anything anywhere. So I wrongly assumed that everything was good. Well, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm really getting the story mixed up because now I'm counting and trying to tell the story at the same time, which is difficult. Excuse me. Come here. But is that centered? Wait. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm a moron. I'm a moron. Okay. Goodbye. Oh, okay. Brilliant. So I gotta chop this out. But anyway, I was like, well, okay, maybe I'm gonna call in an exterminator, or rather have my apartment management people, of course, you know, call in an exterminator, because that's, you know, these bed bugs aren't here by my means. They're not. It's not my fault that they're here. And if I call in an exterminator, I'm guaranteed, of course, going to have to pay for them. But if my apartment people call in an exterminator, I'm going to be arguing if they try to make me pay for it, because there's legitimately no way that these bedbugs are here because of me. I would have noticed when I moved that they came in with my stuff, or that they were in my stuff, and there was no signs of them. None of the bedbug feces or eggs or living bedbugs, for that matter. And yeah, so just nothing. So basically, I was thinking about maybe doing that, but I decided first I'm going to take a day off work, an extra day off work, I suppose I should say, and try to get as much treatment done as I possibly can. Well, took that day off, went to go to bed, and that was okay. It's currently Tuesday after Labor Day, right? Tuesday. Yes, it's the Tuesday after Labor Day. So I just got done with my first day of work this week. I had Labor Day off, and Labor Day weekend I spent with my my girlfriend and my brother and his wife and their kid. My nephew came out. We all got to go to the fair, and we hung out at a zoo for a while and did all sorts of things together. So we had a good time this weekend. But so then let's see here. The previous Monday, so a week ago yesterday, is when I discovered the bed bugs in my office. Then Tuesday happened, and Wednesday happened, and then on Wednesday I asked if I could have Thursday and Friday off, and a bunch of people already had Friday off, so I only got Thursday off. Thursday night, I go to bed, and lo and behold, I'm lying there reading a book or watching a video or something like that before I fall asleep, as I'm trying to fall asleep, you know. And what happens? I see a bed bug crawling along the back cushion of my couch. They had followed me out there because I had verified for sure that they weren't out there before. So I just start losing it, honestly. Like I just went crazy a bit because I have barely slept in 2 weeks because of the bed bugs, and my safe place, my sleeping place, have been taken away from me. So I checked the beanbag as well. Yeah, bed bug, found a bed bug, and then I didn't really know what to do, so I tried to sleep on the floor, but I spent the whole night feeling like there were just bugs crawling all over me, which I think is a reasonable thing to feel like when you're experiencing that sort of stuff. Just gotta see here what happens with this. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, cool. Let me see here real quickly what the tutorial want me to do. I don't know. I'm going to stick down some torches. Oh, that was a terrible torch placement. There, 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 and there. Brilliant. Anyway, so I on Friday I called my apartment management people and said, hey, need to get an exterminator in here. They already knew about the bed bugs and that I was doing self-treatment stuff, so it's not like I'd been hiding anything from them. But I'm done with it. I've finished the war as a loser, and it's been stressful. It's been really stressful. So I haven't been on much lately. I was on enough to build what you saw, and then I'm tearing it down. And I did a little bit more work on a couple of other things, because there were just a couple of days where I absolutely needed a break of some kind, and would have probably perished in a horrible way if I hadn't taken that break. So I'm glad I did, but at the same time, I am a very tired lunatic. And I don't know when the next episode will be out, simply because I don't really know what my future holds at the moment. I don't know how much longer I'll have bed bugs. I don't know when the exterminators are going to come, because I haven't yet been contacted again by my apartment people, who said they were going to call them today. The exterminators, that is, and they just haven't let me know if they did or if they scheduled anything. And I had a terrible headache at work today, so I got home and I felt like crap. And by the time my Tylenol kicked in, I had forgotten that I needed to check up with the apartment people and find out what the decisions and things are regarding the exterminators and finding out when they're coming. So I'm going to call them tomorrow after work, probably, because I'm stupidly off again like I was. But that's the plan, and that's kind of what's going on. So let me think here. I feel like there might be something else I wanted to add, but yeah, I don't know. It's just been hard, being an adult is obviously it comes with its challenges and things, but there's one thing you never want to face. It's bed bugs. So let me just give you a couple of tips as an adult who has had to deal with bed bugs. If you find them, just don't bother with self-treatment. If you have any other choice, exterminator. Just that's my advice. Don't have an exterminator come who will use chemicals, because bed bugs are they're immune to chemicals, and if you use chemicals on them, and even if you kill some, you'll just the ones that survive will just breed, and they'll all become stronger as a species, which nobody wants. So please don't use chemicals on them. The people who so the treatment that I was using, there is a thing called diatomaceous earth. It's like a white powder dirt stuff, which is super uber fine to humans and pets and children and things. It's iron. Ow! Good job, Loon. Jeepers. Okay, I don't have room for iron. That's okay. But to humans and pets and things, it's not harmful. It's too fine to be of anything like that. But to bed bugs and other bugs, actually, it works for pretty much all pest bugs, or most pest bugs. It's like glass, and so it gets inside of their chitinous exoskeleton thing and slowly dehydrates them. I don't know exactly how long it takes. Some people who were helping me research this stuff said months. I don't know for sure. I never really looked into it myself, but other people who looked into it said months. So like two to 6 months or something stupid like that. But I found something talking about an alternate treatment that was using a couple of different things. There was a chemical that does work against the bed bugs, and I did verify this. I sprayed them with this chemical, which is non-toxic to humans and pets, supposedly. I wouldn't recommend breathing it in, and I don't remember what it is, but it's a thing that I found because of them. and used, and it worked really well. Of course, okay. Anyway, and then there was a foam, an insecticide foam that was mostly for killing the eggs, but would also, if it came into contact with most of the bed bugs at least, it would kill them too. All good things, of course. Let me see here. I just need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, of course. There's gonna be 10 doors up on top of this thing. But they words are difficult. What was I talking about? Oh yes, insecticide stuff. So that's what I was going with. I figured that'd be the best way to do the whole treatment stuff. So yeah, if you have to do your own self-treatment, honestly, you could message me and I can give you some good advice on that front. Because the stuff that I found was successful. The only real issue that I had was it just took far too long to do. And they spread to the areas in which I was residing because they wanted their food, and their food had moved. So, yeah, that's kind of that story. Now, if you get an exterminator to come, which once again is my recommended, my recommendation, then what you'll want to do is you'll want to get somebody who doesn't use chemicals. They'll use the ones that are coming to my place use what's called a fire and ice treatment, they call it, which means something. I'm assuming the fire part is steam, because if I'm not allowed to burn down my apartment building for this, I'm not letting someone else do it. Are you kidding? That's just no, not happening. But I'm assuming the fire part is steam, and then the ice part is going to be probably some sort of either CO2, carbon dioxide, or nitrogen of some kind. That's my guess. I don't know for sure what exactly they're going to do or what they're going to use, but that's the kind of thing you want to look for in an exterminator. Don't have them using whatever that DEET or something. I don't know. Bug bombs just don't kill bed bugs apparently. And then if you do get an exterminator, of course, make sure that they have a warranty where if the bed bugs do return, they will follow up, or they'll do some sort of follow up to make sure the bed bugs aren't there. And if they are, then they'll, not charge you extra for continuing to get rid of them, because that would just be sleazy as crap, because bed bugs, literally the worst thing on the planet. Like, okay. We were looking into, I was just curious. I wasn't going to, do anything with this information unless it was surprisingly useful. But I was like, I wonder what bedbugs' natural predators are. Well, they have a couple. Cockroaches are our natural predator of bedbugs. I think some spiders, or most spiders, will eat them, but bedbugs tend to live in crevices and cracks inside of beds, and so therefore are a little bit less accessible to most spiders. But then you have, as well as that, there's a pharaoh ants, which are little kind of semi-clear ants that, if you could release a colony of them in your house or your apartment, and they will eat all pests. Actually, they'll eat the cockroaches and centipedes. House centipedes are another pest that eat bed bugs. They actually love to devour them, but the pharaoh ants would devour the centipedes, of course. I think the cockroach, or what are they? The centipedes also eat cockroaches. So what you could do is you could release the cockroaches, then you could release the centipedes, then you could release the other things, the pharaoh ants, and you'd have a full treatment plan right there. All good to go for you, right? Wrong. Bad plans, of course. There's no good natural predators to the bed bugs. Just all nasty stuff. That's not stuff that you want to deal with either. So really the recommendation is don't go with something that's a natural predator of the bed bug, because you'll regret everything. Now, I guess if you live in Texas or Arizona or somewhere like that, you may have an option. Fire ants eat bed bugs, and so apparently a legitimate treatment that some people do, I don't know if it's a legitimate or rather a good treatment, but a treatment that is used is the people just take their mattress, their affected mattress, and throw it on a nest of fire ants, and just let the fire ants sit there and devour the bed bugs for a while. And then I don't know how they get rid of the fire ants, if they just take the mattress and beat it, or if they, spray with water and douse the fire ants, or if they just use pesticides or something on it. I don't know. But I live in Minnesota. We do not have fire ants up here, at least not in the area that I live in. If there are fire ants up here, I'm not aware of them. And I'm okay with that, because if I was aware of them, it would probably be because I was getting eaten by them. And that's not the kind of thing that I find appealing, which, I mean, you might find surprising, being as I don't know why you would find that surprising. Honestly, can't think of any good reasons. So if you find that surprising, boo on you. That's what I say. Boo hoo on you. Or something like that. I should put the water in here, shouldn't I? Yes, I should. Good thinking, Lynn. Good thinking. How do we water? This talky episode has been very talky and very good. I'm quite glad I'm doing it, because, man, I've been, yeah, you understand, I'm sure, to some degree at least. So I hope I'm not boring everybody with this, but I just needed to talk, and I needed to let y'all know what's happening. So we'll keep going on this, I guess, and I'll keep talking. But yeah, so that's a little bit of my advice. Another piece of advice I would have for you is to check your mattresses, or check your rooms. If you move to a new place, especially check very soon after you move. I would say check the apartment immediately, as best you can. Find out if they have had reports of bedbugs in the past in that building, even if it's not on that floor or not in that that unit. If it's been in that building, there's a chance you could have bedbugs as well. So ask about that. Make sure that if there are bedbugs discovered, that they will cover for their removal. Assuming, of course, if you didn't bring them in, because if you brought them in, well, I mean, I guess I have mixed feelings about that, about you being required to remove them. But yeah, I guess if you bring bedbugs in, you should technically be required to remove them. Have I messed this up horribly? Have I? Nah, we'll say no. Okay. But the most important bit, I think, is that, yeah, you check your stuff. When you move, obviously check your things to make sure that there's not bedbugs in them. But then once you're moved in, check every week. Just check under your mattress and under the corners of your mattress pad if you use one of those, and check your couches, check your furniture. Just check everything every week for the first 3 months that you live there. That is honestly, like, whether you get a new house or a new apartment or anything like that, just check it. Because if you check it and you don't find anything, you'll have lost nothing. But if you do check it, or if you don't, wait, let me think. If you check it and you don't find anything, you're good. But if you do check it, rather, if you don't check it and there's something there to have been found, and then you miss something, well, then that's just sad times for you. So yeah, check everything when you move to a new place. And if you go to a hotel, check the beds there. If you find bed bugs in it, I would honestly just demand a new hotel room and be like, this one has bed bugs. I would like one without bed bugs, please. I think that would be my response. And I don't feel like that's a completely unreasonable response to finding bed bugs in a hotel room. I mean, they're supposed to be providing you with the service of staying in a place for money, and you've reserved these rooms for your use alone, not for the use of anyone else. I mean, unless you have, but you've reserved it for specific people's use, and not the use of bed bugs. So yeah, if that's a thing that you might feel like you need to worry about, then do that. But check the hotel, make sure that there's no bed bugs in the room. Once again, check under the corners of the mattress pads, whatever, things like that. And if you do find bed bugs and you can't get a different room, throw everything that you have brought with you in the dryer immediately upon returning home. Don't pause for anything. That's first priority. Even if you have to be late for something else, that is your first priority. Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh! Oh! So close. Criminy. Where am I? Where? Oh, okay. Let's sleep real quick. Okay. Whew. Hello, morning? Interesting. A little bit laggy on the server today. I don't know why. But, that was bad, man. Okay. Go rescue my... Oh, why is there a creeper? Yeep. Okay. To continue... let's see here. So yeah, check that stuff. And then I would honestly recommend checking everything once a month after you've been checking it for those 3 months. And yeah, again, if you find something, check again. Or sorry, if you find something, deal with it immediately. And I would say that means calling an exterminator is the best way to deal with it immediately. But if that doesn't work for you, diatomaceous earth. And even if you do move to a new place, there's no harm in getting some diatomaceous earth. A 3-pound bag of it. I got that for $9 on Amazon. I actually found it a little bit cheaper at that place where they have stuff. Some store. I can't remember the name of the store. Don't expect me to do that, please. Home Depot is what we have here in America, at least in this part. I don't know if that's everywhere in America, now that I think about it. I'm kind of Midwestern-centric because that's where I've lived my whole life, is the Midwest. But yeah, if you have a Home Depot or something. Otherwise, once again, reach out to me, and I will help you because, honestly, this has been the most horrifying thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Outside of people dying, which really, I've had grandparents die. Okay, I guess I did have a grandma die. That was really unexpected and quite... Oh, that was hard. But, like, I don't know. I don't want to say that was easier to deal with, but I could be with people and whatnot after she had died. And with the bed bugs, I can't be around people unless I go to extreme measures to cleanse myself and not wear the clothes that I keep in my apartment around them and things. So it is there's people that I care about. If I'm going to work or whatever, I'm not as stringent about things like that, but I do check my clothes before I put them on because whether or not I'm going to spread the bed bugs, I really don't want to wear them. That's just disgusting. Ooh, pie! That's awesome. Thank you, Todachu, I think. The Pyomat, probably the Pyomat 3000. Very cool, very cool. I need more chicken. But okay, let me just... I've never seen this before. Where did this come? Hello? Well then, interesting. I don't know if you noticed here, but my auto chicken cooker, which has been having loons drop into it, and they of course convert into chicken at the last minute. It's really just the trader loons that we're taking, the ones that aren't real loons. So, because you see, it's cooked chicken, it's not cooked loon. If it was cooked loon, then we'd know we had some issues. But it hasn't been working super hot. They don't fall in there very well, and they're probably actually all jammed up in there, and it's horrible. I haven't checked. So I did make a new chicken cooker, and... Hello. This one's working like a charm. It's not filtering out the feathers, which is a little bit concerning. I may have to just rewire some of that. But part of the issue that I had was just hoppers are expensive when you don't have iron. So I wanted to iron, and we're going to have iron now. Which I will say, one thing I didn't consider is I should have built this at build limit and then built another one 100 blocks down from it. Man, that's whatever. Whatever. Okay, let's get back up there and finish with a little chat here. I actually don't know how long I've been recording for. Oh, wow, 40 minutes. Oops. I guess it's just been a long time, and I needed to get that all kind of just talked about a little bit. But yeah, really, if you do find yourself with bed bugs, or if you've had bed bugs, you have my sympathies, and I will offer you any more support I can, any advice that you would like, or or if you have any questions, of course, feel free to drop a note in the comment section or message me in some way, shape, or form. YouTube messaging works okay, though I may or may not check that more than once every couple of months because I forget it exists. Otherwise, I am on Discord. I don't know if you can find me on there. I used to use Skype, but I just don't anymore. You can go to my Facebook page, The Lunatic, and that's a place where you can, if you drop a comment on there, I will probably get a notification of it. I guess I don't really know for certain, but I would just assume that that's something that I would get notified of. And so, yeah, that'd be another efficient way to get a hold of me. But yeah, otherwise, I think that's going to pretty much do it. All that I really have to do to finish up this puppy is get this glass chamber built for the villagers, and then either... I'm kind of going to want that back. And then either get a couple of villagers in here and start breeding them, or just get all new villagers. And I'll probably do the all new villager thing, because I already have a breeder and I don't really feel the need for another. Yeah, I think once again that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching and listening and putting up with my complaining about life and bed bugs and things. But yeah, once again, please, really, if you have bed bugs, don't wait. It's not a problem that's going to take care of itself, and it's not a problem that you're going to want to deal with. So do the stuff about it. Follow my advice. Really, just save yourself the pain. And yeah, once again, if you ever have any questions, or if you have stories of your own, share them with me, and I will sympathize with you on the deepest of levels, because I have been there. I have dealt with the horrors. I'm familiar with that battle. But until next time, I will bid you adieu to raw peoples of the interwebs, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, day, noon. I don't know. A wonderful holiday if it's a holiday for you right now. I guess I don't know what's going on in your life. It could be Labor Day next year. Maybe you're a year behind on watching this, and that's okay. I won't judge you for that. If you're watching it at all, I'm honestly more happy and surprised than anything else, just because I'm tiny. I'm small potatoes on YouTube, but that's okay. It's more fun that way. I get to actually interact with my community. But like I said, I'm whittering on. This has been going for about 43 minutes now, and you have things to do, and you've probably not watched this whole video because you have better things to do. So, to raw peoples of the interwebs, I will catch you next time, and hopefully we will have a more interesting, more fun, jam-packed, jam-fact pun. Yes, a jam-fact pun episode for you. Yes, that's what's going to happen. Nom 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 nom.